prayed, and I prayed, and I prayed.
What happens when life gives you a bad deal? Do you quit or do you keep on going? You are now watching Young, Dumb, and Thriving.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Young, Dumb, and Thriving. Today you are here with Charmaine and a very special guest, Steven. Steven, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, well, my name is Steven, originally from Pennsylvania. Joined the military when I was 18 years old. Been in for about 9 years, and I've got to travel to Japan, California, North Carolina, and also over and towards the Mediterranean. Currently out here in San Diego, and I got an offering from this lovely lady here to come and talk to you all today.
Yes. So, what is 3 reasons that you joined the military for?
3 reasons. Number 1 is to travel. I grew up in a very small farming community, and I just wanted to get out and explore the world, and I'm very glad I did. Second reason, just financial reasons, financial stability, constant paycheck, and third, just to better myself, really. And I've learned a lot of things about myself, and a lot of things I carry forward to help those around me. So that'd probably be the top 3.
Got it. So what are you currently doing in the Marine Corps right now?
So right now, finishing up a tour as a drill instructor. I did 6 cycles, 464 new Marines put into the Marine Corps.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm also waiting right now for an OCS seat. So any day.
That's Officer Candidate School for those of you who do not know about anything about the military. So he's transitioning from enlisted to officer. So I want to dab a little bit more into drill instructor.
Okay.
One, when you started speaking, you look like a drill instructor. Like your manners, you're like, I'm this. You know what I mean?
No.
Like you're just so, but then like outside of camera, you're like, yeah, like so fun. Like that's awesome that you could just like switch up like that, like professionalism.
We're underpaid actors.
Right.
Yeah, we're underpaid actors.
That's true. So how did you feel being a drill instructor?
So I was actually enlisted. Pretty much Marine Corps told me I was going to go do this duty. And I wasn't looking forward to it. I mean, I heard the horror stories, like, oh, you're going to work a lot, you're going to run a lot, and yell a lot, which we did. But after I got through, like, the first few weeks of training, I started seeing these recruits, these young men under my charge, like, start to progress towards something better. I started feeling better about it, you know. And then, like, at the end of the first cycle, the parents came, the families came, and they saw what their sons had transformed into, and they made, like, all the running, screaming, and sleepless nights. It made it worth it.
Got it.
And now looking back, I'm very thankful that I had the opportunity to come out and do this duty out here in San Diego.
Yeah, because I just want to add in, like, everything happens for a reason, I feel.
Yeah.
And like you said, like, you weren't looking forward to it. You didn't
No.
want to do that.
No.
You were actually told you're going to do that. And you still found the positive side of it.
Yes.
So that's something that the audience could take away. Like, even if you're told to do something and you have to do something that you really didn't want to in life, there's always going to be a bright side of it.
Yeah, I think it's like more of a mentality. Like, if you go in with an open mind,
Yes.
the results are probably going to be a lot better off than say you go to it with a negative mindset, and like every small inconvenience is just going to make it that much worse.
Yeah.
So you go into a positive mindset and you just do your best, like you're probably going to come out on top at the end of the day.
Right. Because, and you brought up a good point, your mentality. Because I know you endured a lot being a drill instructor. And like you said, yelling a lot, barely eating because you have to make sure you get your, recruits back and forth. So what was your mentality? Like, how'd you push yourself through that?
Just honestly that the sun rises and the sun sets, and just another day. One day at a time, you get to that day. Like, if you're in a bad spot, day by day, it's going to get better.
Yeah.
And sure enough, just like training, like you start off that first week where like I had a little smartwatch, I was doing 20, 25 miles a day. And then like as the training progressed, those numbers dialed back and like the positive results. So just day by day.
Got it.
Don't stop pushing forward.
Got
essentially.
it. Oh my God, that's awesome. So I get a lot of messages in my DMs from people who are about to join the military. And I even get some young men in my DMs, and I'm like, I don't know, because I don't really know about like the guy side, because I know obviously we're women, so we're not required to do as much as them. Because I know for our PFT time, it has to be 21 minutes to get 100. Theirs is 18,
yes.
Correct? So for them, the ones asking, oh, how should I prepare myself? Like, what should I do? And especially coming from a drill instructor, like, what advice would you give them to prepare themselves for the mental aspect as well as the physical aspect of boot camp?
You brought up a good point about the like male and females. So we actually have the same standards essentially. For those who don't know, they're actually bringing female recruits to San Diego, which is the first in history of the depot that they're bringing them out here. And they have the same obstacles, they run the same PFT routes, they're going to hike the same trails. So it's the similar standards across the board. And to prepare for boot camp, or just, you got to be positive and just start running. You know? Like run and get your cardio up.
Yeah.
And I see where a lot of people fail, it's just they are slow runners.
Yeah.
And like PFT, or the physical fitness test, combat fitness test, the new recruits lose a lot of points on the run portions.
Yeah.
So just running, just start running a lot, and just don't worry about it. Day by day, show up, go with the flow of things, and don't quit.
Got it.
Never
So
quit.
go ahead and tell us a little bit about you experience, like you actually going through boot camp as a recruit, and then kind of compare it to you doing boot camp as a drill instructor, like your change in mindset.
I have a better appreciation for drill instructors. Like the behind the scenes, like as a recruit, you're this, for lack of better, you're miserable and you don't see the bigger picture. But now as like a drill instructor coming in, I got to see the behind the scenes, the administrative work, paperwork, like the dedication and like the commitment to the recruit. And like as a recruit, I thought they were just there to kill me, to cease my existence.
Yeah.
But now that I've been a drill instructor, it's not the case at all. It's just like a tough love almost. And it's just a lot more of appreciation to the system as a whole to get a recruit to Marine.
That's awesome. So I just want to go into why you want to become an officer.
Become an officer. So to this day, actually, I asked this question quite a lot actually. And it's just, like right now as a staff, like I'm a staff sergeant, I have a very small pocket of like people I can influence, right? So as an officer, I'll be like the platoon level, and once I become a captain at the company level, and it's just a larger area of influence. Because like my biggest like motivator today, and like has been for the last few years, is just seeing Marines flourish.
That's amazing.
To become better and become better human beings and like assets to wherever they're at, whether it's in the military or back home, in the civilian sector. So that's why I'm becoming an officer. Just a larger area of influence and more power to influence.
Wow.
Because like if you see an officer setting the example, that good example, more people are going to emulate voice like a staff sergeant or a gunnery sergeant. So that's why.
Wow, that's actually one of the reasons that I want to go officer as well. And I started the training because I felt like that is your area of influence, just like you said. Like, yeah, as a staff and CO, you can do a lot within your space, though. You can't really step outside of it and affect the whole entire command. But as an officer, being the CO, you're running it, you know? So that's why I felt like I need to go officer, because I want to, if I'm going to be in the Marine Corps and I'm going to stay here, gosh darn it, I'm going to freaking change something. Like, I'm like, let me change a policy or two.
No, policy then. Because like a staff sergeant, you just enforce it.
Exactly.
You know, and you can try to like advise the officer, at the end of the day, if he says no,
then
they say no.
Right. Okay. For his game, I decided to have him play Puppet.
Like 10, 15 years old.
Right. I'm pretty sure we all haven't played this for a long time. So turn it on. You gotta hit the. See, he only knows third. There we go.
Okay. Wait, what's the best way to hold it? Like, okay.
Whichever way you want.
All right, bop at the start. So I got the full.
So we're going to let him play 2 rounds to try and get as high as he can. And then we're going to discuss how this game goes and relates to who he is as an individual.
Beat bop.
All right, we got it.
Okay.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
High score, 0.
Okay, here we go. All right.
I would lose.
Wow.
I didn't even know.
You just like whoop whoop. Stop it.
Oh my God. I didn't.
You say you're gonna ask me questions?
Yeah. So are you? I was gonna give it to the second round, but are you good?
Yeah.
Oh,
no!
see? You see?
No, confidence.
Okay, so this is the second round. This
Okay.
is when I was gonna start asking you questions.
So she was loud. I couldn't hear it.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I'm gonna let you get the vibe
Okay.
first.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to just hit
Okay.
harder.
To me, I just want to have you explain to the audience.
Uh-huh.
Do the 14 leadership traits mean anything to you in your personal life?
So honestly, no. And here's why. Because like if you know what they are, that's great and all, but you have to live it. like if you can sit there and tell me what JJ did tie buckle is, but you're not living it, then it's pointless. You know, and that's with anything in life. Like if you just say it, like you're not really, it's worthless to you almost.
Right. So you're basically saying you gotta live it.
Yeah,
And that's why it doesn't mean nothing because you should already be like that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
And they're just guidelines at the end of the day. Like you can like and plus people can twist it to their own view almost.
Yeah.
So.
I just want to say you are actually amazing at this game because I definitely tried this on my friends and they failed. Like the first sentence. This is awesome. So would you say that paying close attention to detail is important?
Yes. And like people don't understand like the attention to detail that translates to so much like in boot camp, your left or right, how tight your racks are, like how clean like your area is, and like people understand is the smaller your attention to detail, like the more in depth of the picture you can get.
Yeah.
So like your attention to detail, like it sounds cheesy. I always thought it was cheesy, but like in combat situations, what the Marine Corps always translates everything to is that like the change, like hey, there's a hush up. There's like you're going to a village and it just got quiet.
Yeah.
And like people who've been over there in Afghanistan, Iraq, like notice if you go to like a quiet village, like that's bad news. Because like usually the village has like people bustling around, people trading and whatnot, and it's quiet. You know something bad's gonna happen, and that's just you picking up on your surroundings and just that small attention to detail and the baseline almost. What's that baseline? The change in the base.
Yeah.
What's it called? Not anomaly. I can't remember the word right now.
I can't either.
But no, attention to detail is huge.
Yeah. So, even though you're done with the game, first of all, his score was 47, y'all. 47, having a conversation and doing that. So, let's talk about that.
Okay.
Being able to multitask. Would you say that's important?
Yes. You can't allow yourself to get stuck in like the small circle. You have to look at the large scope of things. And like, especially, like, I know you can probably relate as a Marine, like we have to worry about past exercises, after actions, current operations, and also planning for the future. And all three of those are equally important.
Right.
So that's where the multitasking comes in. Like you can't just be focused like on this Christmas tree when I got that flower, they're doing some stuff. Like I have to take a step back, look at the whole picture, and just pretty much keep progressing forward.
Right.
And absorbing it all in.
Right. And multitasking goes in with your work as well as you as an individual. And then if you are a leader, like he's a staff NCO, so he has to take care of his junior Marines. There is no like, oh, you can do it yourself. No, because a lot of times Lance Corporal don't know, you know.
Really
so it's literally, that's the phrase in the Marine Corps. Lance Corporal don't know. So it's like being able to multitask is definitely for you important.
Yes.
And the reason I gave him Bobbitt, one is because he's in the military, so obviously he knows about listening and basically going with what I'm being told. Let me handle what I'm being told. But now I threw at him questions during it to symbolize multitasking. And honestly, I just learned he was a staff sergeant. I didn't know he was a staff sergeant. Honestly, when you hit me up, it was just because Sergeant Fall had told me, you know, you wanted to ask a little bit of questions. So I was like, oh, okay, great. So I never really asked your rank, but that's amazing that he just happens to be a staff NCO as well as like knowing so well how to multitask. That just says a lot about your character. Like
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. So obviously I just explained what the game meant, so I'm not going to tap it on the head again and bang it like a dead horse. So we already know what that game meant. So I just want to say thank you so much for coming on the show and dedicating your time to this. Pull the gift that you have. You don't have to open it right now. You can wait.
I can wait?
Yes, you can wait. But literally, I just for real want to say thank you because like I said, we obviously didn't even really know each other. And the fact that you even agreed to this, it means so much to me.
I appreciate it as well. I guess that being said, like meeting your strangers, right?
Yeah.
And that's another like piece of advice is don't be afraid to reach out for help. One thing I learned, it's 30% what you know, or 70% what other people know.
Yep.
Like it's a community, military, like even for you watching back home, like you have a community of people who can help you, and just reach out for it.
Yeah.
Reach out, talk to them, especially with the holidays coming up. Make sure you're reaching out and you're talking to everybody. And thank you for having me on your show.
Yeah, no problem. And I just love how he added that piece of advice in there because honestly, I didn't even like think about that. But you literally brought up a great point because a lot of people are too afraid to ask.
Yeah, like I used to be like that as well. Like,
yeah, me
I
too.
Be afraid to ask, but once you do it a couple times, like you get more comfortable with it.
Right.
So another thing, break out of your shell.
Yeah.
especially for like the younger audience coming out of high school, or going through high school, going into college. Like, just break out of your shell, explore, break through your normal routines. Don't be afraid to fail.
Right.
Failing's a part of success. If you look at some of the most successful people in the world, they'll tell you how they failed thousands of times
Right.
to get to where they're at. So.
Oh my God, that's amazing advice, like for real, amazing advice. Because the worst thing that can happen if you reach out or you step out of your shell is this a no. And trust me, if he said no to me, it wouldn't have hurt my skin, it wouldn't have hurt me as an individual. It's like, okay, great, I'll ask somebody else who's a drill instructor, you know? You just gotta keep on going, and it's just amazing when you step out of your shell for the first time and then you get that yes the first time. That's awesome. But if you don't get that yes, it's okay. It's coming as long as you keep knocking on that door.
Yeah, persistent.
Yes, persistence is key. But thank you again for being on the show. And I want to say to you guys, thank you for tuning in to another segment of Young, Dumb, and Thriving.